What is going on, guys? Sonic and the Bean Show here. Today we are looking at the brand new Marvel Legends series Spider-Man No Way Home 3-pack. Now this is no surprise right here. I knew as soon as this pack was announced I was going to grab it and review it no matter what. Spider-Man No Way Home is a movie I'll never forget. The hype leading to it, the rumors around it, when it first hit theaters, it was just a wild time, and it was a crazy movie theater experience I'll never forget. So of course, if I love the movie, I'm definitely going to want action figures for it. And it's finally here in my hands, and I'm so excited to add this to the collection. Even though it did take a while for this pack to come out, I remember this being announced last summer, and then it's just been quiet after that. I kept wondering if it was being canceled or delayed, but it doesn't matter anymore because it's finally here. So let's take a look at the packaging really quick. Now, here's the thing. I'm not a fan of windowless packaging. I never was. I say it all the time. But I appreciate the artwork right here. You know, you got three of them right here on the Statue of Liberty, which was like, you know, the final battle scene. But I really like it. You know, you got Tobey, Tom, and Andrew right there. I really like the poses they got these guys in. Marvel Legends series Spider-Man No Way Home. Here's the top. You got the spider symbol right there at the top. The bottom is just some more information. Here's the side, which I actually do like. You got three of them right here. It's nice artwork. Marvel Legends series. Now on the other side, we got another shot right here. I do like this side a lot more. That actually looks really good. So you got all three of them. And then the back, of course, you just, you know, got some shots of the figures. And then, like, you know, the accessories that comes with them. Spider-Man No Way Home. And then some other information at the bottom. And yeah, that's pretty much all of that. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and crack this pack out of the packaging and find out what this 3-pack is all about. Alright, so here's all three of them out of their packaging right here. Looking pretty cool, I must say. I'm definitely enjoying these figures a whole lot right here. It's not really perfect by all means. There's still some things about these figures I'm not a fan of, and some things that I wish came with these figures as well. But you know, I think so far I am actually enjoying these a whole lot. Now, before I get into the figures, I do want to get their accessories out the way really fast because there's not a whole lot going on here. So let's start off with the web lines right here. So you are getting like these webs. They're like translucent. You know, we've seen these a bunch of times now. You know, all three of them get their own. So you got one where like it has like the triangle thing at the end, and then, you know, like the swirl at the end right here. Of course, you know, you put their hands between here to make it look like they're like web swinging or whatever like that. Pretty much that. I never really liked these. I wish they came with, like, you know, some different sets of webs other than just these, but you are basically just getting that. Let's go over Tom's accessories real fast. We'll start with Tom. So as you can see, these are the hands you're gonna get as soon as you open the figures. But for Tom Holland's accessories, you are getting his Twipper hands right here, which actually looks pretty nice. So, you know, you're gonna get that. And then the other interchangeable hands, you are getting the fist. So he does come with two fisted hands. So you got that. Now for Andrew Garfield, again, same thing. They're all getting the exact same thing. But Andrew Garfield got two Twipper hands. And the lines on here are actually pretty nice. I think they are. Yeah, it does seem like, let me see. Yeah, it does seem like the lines on here are actually sculpted. I do like that a lot. They look pretty good. And then Andrew, since he already has another interchangeable fist and a wall crawling hand on the figure, you are getting another one of these. But this is actually different. They're not the same like wall crawling hands. This is a little bit different than the one that's on the figure. It's a little bit different. Let me actually grab Andrew right here. But as you can see, they're different right here. So that's really cool. So they're not like really just the same. Trying to get Andrew to not fall. Alright, there you go. So that's Andrew Garfield's accessories. For Tobey, again, you got your whipping hands right here. I like the silver paint on these. So you got that. And then you do have your wall crawling hands. And again, they are different. They don't really, they're not the exact same way. They're about different, really. The only thing is, though, is that for whatever reason, Tobey's, his hands are so tiny. Like, look at his, and then look at Tom Holland's. Like, why is Tobey's hands so tiny? Even on the figure, they look really tiny. Like, they made his hands super tiny. Let me use Andrew Garfield's. Yeah, Andrews look a bit tiny too. It's so odd. I don't know. But that's pretty much the accessories you get there. That's pretty much all you're getting here. There's no like unmasked head sculpts, no like other web accessories. That's pretty much that. So that's, you know, very disappointing right there. But, you know, with all that being said, now that we went over the accessories, let's go ahead and take a look at the figures. Alright, so the first figure we'll be looking at is the MCU Spider, or Peter 1, or Tom Holland, whichever you prefer. Now, there's not a whole lot to really talk about, because this is really just a repaint. I actually have the very first integrated Spider-Man suit figure that they did here, and you can see that the only difference is that they just painted the web lines, and that the colors are a bit different here. This is like a darker blue, rather than like a darker gray that they did here. I do think the gold on the spider symbol right here is a lot more cleaner than this one is, but again, this is really like an updated figure, but it does look a whole lot better. But the best thing about this figure is that it does come with wall crawling hands. This one didn't. It only came with like whipping hands and then like fisted hands, and that was about it. So really happy to finally have Tom Holland figure with wall crawling hands, so I like that. Now again, they gave him the gold gauntlets. You know, I don't know why they did that, because it's not really accurate to how it was in the movie. So you can actually, you know, if you want, if I can try to take this hand off there, but you can take this off if you want to make it more accurate. But only thing is that there is going to be like a divot here for the gold gauntlets, which looks a little weird, but you can kind of see it. But it doesn't look too bad. Like if I wanted to put the hand back in right here, let me try to. Alright, there you go. Yeah, as you can see, it still doesn't look too bad, but at the same time it does look weird. So whichever you prefer, but I'm just gonna put them back on for the sake of this review. Let me just throw that back on there. But that's pretty much that. You know, the web lines, they also do continue. Not only they're not really just on the mask, like the head or the torso, they are also like to the lower calf and then the foot. I'll bring this back, you can see, and that's pretty much that. You know, same shoe mold and everything. Torso, turn it around. Yeah, not a whole lot going on, but yeah, so much better though. I gotta say that it looks so much better with the web lines. Now the articulation is also about the same. So for the head, he can look up just about there, down getting about there. You also get your side to side. You also have your rotation. For rotation in the arms, hinge to the shoulder goes out about here. You also do get your butterfly joints there. Double jointed elbows, pinless elbows right there, which is pretty good. You have your bicep swivel, your swivel to the wrist, and then a hinge right there. You do get an ab crunch to the top of the torso, but then there is like a lower cut for the waist. For the hips, he kicks forward about there, back about there. You got your upper thigh cut, double jointed knees. It's about there. Yeah, I think that's, yeah, it's about there. The lower leg looks a little too long from here though. There's no shin cut, and then the feet can go back about there, forward about here, and then you have your ankle rocker. And yeah, that's pretty much your articulation. And then the splits, it's about you're getting, you know, same thing. Yeah, so that's the articulation for Tom Holland. Again, same thing as the other integrated Spider-Man figure. But yeah, that is your Tom Holland articulation right there. Alright, next up is going to be Andrew Garfield. And I gotta say, man, this figure actually looks really good. I want to say this is probably my favorite out of the three. Like, look at how clean the web lines is on this figure. This is really, really good. You got the spider symbol right there. Is how it is on the back. It does continue a little bit when you want to move it. There is going to be like a gap itch right there, but it still does continue a little bit if you want to move him up. But the web lines on this guy though is actually really good. They are sculpted on, which is why they look really good, man. You got like some muscle definition on the legs. Then here's the back. The web lines is all there. The hands. What's really nice is that you even got his web shooters right here, so you can actually see that is sculpted on. Really nice detail they did here. Overall, man, I really do like this Andrew Garfield. The lens for the mask looks really clean. Looks really shiny. Just really good. A huge upgrade than the Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure they did. My only gripe though is I feel like the red and the blue, I feel like they're a bit too dark on this guy. And I don't know if that's how his suit was in the movie or so, or I don't remember it ever really being this dark, but I don't know. I think there needs to be a little bit more saturated with the red and the blue. They are a bit too dark right here. But overall, man, I'm definitely enjoying this figure, and he actually posed around a little bit better compared to Tom and Tobey, because those guys, they were a little bit too stiff, but Andrew's not too bad. So let's actually go over that really fast. So for the articulation for Andrew, we're going to start off with the head sculpt. So for the head, he can look up about here, down about there. You got your side to side, your rotation there. For rotation to the arms, you have your butterfly joints. They go back pretty good. Forward, not so much, but if you want to bring the arms forward, you can have him cross his arms like that. So it goes about, you know, like that, which is actually pretty good. So you have that. You do have your bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, your wrist articulation right here, and then along with the hinge. For the torso, he does have the dumbbell joint, so you have you know, like your side to side. Not too much, it's not like that great for side to side. You can see I can go out, you know, about here, and then other side not so much. But forward, I do have the lower ab crunch there, so for forward you can go, well, not using the legs, but go forward about there, and then back about there, which is pretty good. Even though it looks like he broke his back though, but you know, you got that. For the hips to the side splits, it's pretty decent. It looks like it's a little bit better than Tom's, but you have that. Now Andrew and Tobey, actually, they have the drop down hips. Tom doesn't. So for the hips, he kicks forward about here, but if I want to use the drop down, he kicks high about here. So drop down and without the drop down. And then for back, about there, and then back about there. It's a little hard to really tell, but yeah, he can still kick back about there. Got your upper thigh cut, double jointed, pinless knees, still no shin cut, feet back about there, forward about there, and then you have your ankle rocker. And that's pretty much that. I think the articulation is pretty solid. I mean, it's the same thing, but like for Andrew, his articulation feels a whole lot smoother compared to the rest. So I do like it, and I really like this figure. I think this is probably my favorite so far out of the other two. So yeah, I definitely do like this Andrew Garfield figure a whole lot. I composed this guy pretty well, as you can see. He may not be able to go as down as I want him to do like a Spider-Man stance, but you know, something like this, I definitely like this Andrew Garfield figure a whole lot. That's really, really cool. And finally, the next figure we have here is the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. This is the one that I was most excited for, especially since, you know, I'm really happy to get some more Tobey Maguire Spider-Mans. And I think after reviewing the SH Figure Arts one, and I was really, you know, excited about that one, I was really happy to get this one as well. But, you know, there are some things that I don't really like too much about this figure that kind of brought my excitement level a little bit down here. I just think he looks a little off in some parts, but there's a little bit I like about it, a lot that I don't like about it. So I think the web lines on this guy looks pretty good. You know, they are sculpted on along with the spider symbol on his chest right here. I think that actually looks really, really clean actually. But yeah, you can see like all the silver paint web lines around. They even got the curve here for the boot, which is accurate. You have it all around the feet, and then, you know, the back, the waist as well. I think it actually looks pretty cool. It looks a little weird in some angles because it looks like it's not like painted, but as you can see when I turn it around, it is actually painted well, but in some parts it looks like it's not. But the web lines actually do look really good on this guy, I will say that. The only thing is that it looks a little off because the saturation on the red and the blue is way too bright. I feel like it needs to be a little bit more darker. I think this Tobey figure is just way too saturated on the red and blue. I think that's another reason why it just looks so odd. But also, like I mentioned earlier, where I said like the hands were too small, look at how small they look on this figure. Like, it looks like he has baby hands. Like, if I wanted to put him in, you know, just to put his hands up or whatever, put him in a fighting stance, the fists look way too tiny on this guy, you know? They look super tiny. I think the shoulders look really tiny as well. The chest is a little small and flat. His body almost looks like a tube. The waist is a bit too big. I don't know, it just, the proportions on this guy just looks really weird, you know? And he doesn't really have any details like anywhere else. So, I mean, he has details on the suit. You know, he does have like that hexagon, you know, that hexagon like pattern here on the red and blue. You can kind of see it, but it is there. But he doesn't have anything else like on the legs. Like, there's no like muscle definition anywhere on the legs or anything like that. Because, you know, with Andrew, like, look at his legs and then look at Andrew. You see how like Andrew had that, you know, and then Tom had like the details, but it was really just like for his suit. But for Tobey, he just has nothing. It's just like all flat. It's just really plain. There's just really nothing there. So yeah, that looks off. But I don't know, something about him just looks odd. Like, here he is with Andrew. You can see the difference with like the waist, the chest, the shoulders. Like, Andrew actually looks pretty good. But Tommy, on the other hand, I don't know, man. I don't know. But yeah, so that's pretty much my gripes right there with this figure. You know, I just think it looks really, really odd. But let's go over the articulation really fast. So articulation, will start off here with the head. So he can look up about there, down about there. You got your side to side, your rotation to the head, full rotation to the arms. You also got a hinge to the shoulder, which is actually pretty good. His hinge to his shoulder is a lot better than the others for me. So you have that. You do have your butterfly joints here, so they're actually pretty good. You can have him cross his arms if you want to do that. You also get your bicep swivel, double jointed pinless elbows, which is pretty good. You have a rotation to the wrist and then a hinge. But mine's actually pretty stiff. Let me actually use this one right here. Yeah, you got your hinge to your wrist right there. For the torso, you got your dumbbell joint. So side, then the other side. It's pretty good. Back, and then forward. And then you do have the lower ab crunch right there. So forward about there, and then back about there. So you have that. For the hips, out to the side. Not the best. I think Andrew probably still has the best when it comes to trying to do a split. So for Tobey, you don't really get a whole lot. But Tobey does have the drop down hips. So without the drop down, he can kick forward about here. But with the drop down, he kicks up about there. It's not a whole lot of a difference, but you know, you get that. I'm not really like a huge drop down hips. I don't know, I don't really care too much about them. You do get your upper thigh cut, double jointed pinless knees. They're really stiff, but you can see, man, the lower leg is way too long right there. Like, look at his feet is like right there. He can like kick himself in the lower back. So you have that. Again, no shin cut, feet forward about there, back about there, and then you have your ankle rocker. And that's pretty much that. That's the articulation right there for Tobey. You know, it is what it is. I'm just a little disappointed. The figure looks weird. Can it even, let me just see if it can at least pull it around pretty good. So if I want to put him in a spider position, I can't really seem to get that. I can't actually get the leg up a little bit more. But yeah, if I want to put him in like a crawling stance, or how he was in the packaging, how they had him in the packaging, I can't really seem to even do that. I can't really put him any more forward than that, or you know, I can't really do the crazy poses I can do with this guy of how I did with the SH Figure Arts Tobey Maguire figure. So yeah, not a whole lot that I can really do. Alright, now it's time for some figure comparisons. So here's the Tom Holland figure that came with the No Way Home 3-pack, and then this is the older Marvel Legends integrated suit Spider-Man figure. And then we have the SH Figure Arts one right here. And you can see that, you know, the SH Figure Arts one is like a little bit shorter, because I know they're usually like the smaller ones a little bit compared to Marvel Legends. but you can see these two are about the same, and then like the different paint apps between these that we showed off earlier. But yeah, that is how these three look right here. Obviously this one, I really do like this one a whole lot more. I think I actually prefer this one between the other two, but I don't know, I definitely do like it a whole lot right here. Now for your Andrew Garfield figure comparison, here he is up against the Amazing Spider-Man 2 figure, and you can see the difference between these. This one is a lot taller here, you know, you can see the difference with the colors. This one's a lot more darker than this one, but again, like I said, huge upgrade. You know, this figure, I mean, obviously this is pretty outdated now, but I'm just happy to finally get a new Andrew Garfield figure for right now, I guess, because I know the SH Figure Arts one is, I think that one's out right now actually. That one I'm excited for. But yeah, so you can see the difference between how these guys look. And finally, for your Tobey Maguire figure comparison, we have the one from the No Way Home 3-pack. This is the Toy Biz one, and then we have the SH Figure Arts one right here. And I think I still prefer the SH Figure Arts more. Again, the colors on here is like really saturated, but I think this one just aesthetically looks better, but it does pose around better. I just don't like the weird like crotch piece design on this guy, but I do like this one a whole lot. But you can see this one is still like taller. I think this one, it's a little hard to tell because this one like it has a loose head and it doesn't stand as straight really because it's a really old figure. But yeah, the SH Figure Arts is a lot shorter. But yeah, you know, I'm all aboard of getting more Tobey figures, of course. You know, I don't think this is just going to be it. I think they're definitely going to release more. They're probably going to do like a single release of these guys with unmasked heads. I keep hearing like there's going to be like a No Way Home like wave that I'm hearing about that's supposed to come out like the end of this year or something like that. I hope that's true. I would love to really see that, and I want to see more villains. You know, I want to get like, you know, like Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin figure from the movie. You know, I know he's getting the SH Figure Arts, but I would love to still get one, you know, from Marvel Legends. I would love to see all the villains. Definitely would. Maybe San Diego Comic-Con, you know, that's like right around the corner. We could probably see that. I can definitely see that, but yeah, I don't see them just doing just these figures and then that'll be it. These guys are definitely going to get another re-release. But so far, I am enjoying these figures, and I'm really happy to, again, add these guys to the collection. Alright guys, that is going to wrap up this review on the Marvel Legends Spider-Man No Way Home 3-pack. Overall thoughts on the entire set, I'd say it's alright. It's not bad, but it's also not good either. It's just okay in my opinion. The Andrew figure is actually pretty good. I think he's probably the best figure in this set, but the colors are way too dark on this figure. Tom Holland's figure is just a repaint, but it does look a lot better than the older one, but unfortunately the suit isn't accurate to how it was in the final battle. And Tobey's figure just looks very odd to me. The eye lenses on the mask are too far apart. The arms are too small, the torso is shaped weirdly, you know, stuff like that is my nitpicks on this figure. And I also do wish they came with unmasked heads, but again, like I said, I don't see them releasing these figures and then just stopping right there. I can see them giving these guys a single release down the line with like unmasked head sculpts, and hopefully they do other suits as well for Tobey and Andrew. But that is going to do it for this review. So if you guys want to pick this up, this is only available through Hasbro Pulse, since this is a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. I'm not sure if this is still in stock. You might have to go on there and check it out. But thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed the review. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below, and I will definitely catch you guys in the next video. Take care, my friends.